What's going on, drinking buddies? Brand new episode coming right at you. Just after a quick word from our sponsors. Those lovely folks. I love them so much. Especially this first sponsor. Because that first sponsor is me. We are brought to you this week by the video versions of A Now We Drink. Go to www.anwd.net/videos to see all the madness in full HD. There are no ads on the video versions, so that's pretty rad, right? They're 99 cents an episode. Check them out. They're a ton of fucking fun. And now on to the real sponsors. This week we are brought to you by our friends at Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is the Record of the Month Club, the best damn Record of the Month Club. In fact, every month Vinyl Me Please has one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection. Each record is pressed exclusively for Vinyl Me Please, as features you can't get anywhere else. Things like bonus tracks, inserts, color variants, and comes packaged with a 12x12 album-inspired art print and custom cocktail pairing recipe. Can't beat it. Rad vinyl, custom cocktail pairing, some awesome artwork. And Vinyl Me Please isn't like Record of the Month clubs of old. It's month to month, no strings attached, cancel anytime. So if you want to check out Vinyl Me Please today, go to www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. Once again, that is www.joinvmp.com/ANWD. We are also brought to you this week by our friends at Gamefly. Gamefly.com has over 8,000 new releases and classics available to rent for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, PS Vita, Wii U, Wii, and 3DS. Every system you can imagine, basically. As a Gamefly member, you can rent as many console and handheld games as you want and get them delivered right to your mailbox for one low monthly fee. If you like a game so much that you'll want to send it back, you can keep it for a low use price. There are never any due dates or late fees. Gamefly also offers the ability to rent Blu-ray and DVD movies as part of the regular service at no extra charge. Man, games are expensive. Don't drop your hard-earned coin until you've played it. Make sure you like that motherfucker. And if you like it, you can just get it from Gamefly. So sign up today for a premium 30-day trial for free. One game out, shipped directly to you with a pre-addressed envelope for easy returns. No contracts, cancel anytime. Go to www.gameflyoffer.com/ANWD. Once again, that is www.gameflyoffer.com/ANWD. We are also brought to you this week by author Chris Zeischegg. I hope I said Chris's name right. And his books, Body to Job, The Wolves That Live in Skin and Space, Come to My Brother, and you can buy those on his website at ChristopherZeischegg.com. Go to the show notes on how to spell his last name. And also pick up a copy of our other guest book, Michael Seidlinger's My Pet Serial Killer, on Amazon.com. Both great authors, and obviously the guest this week. This was a lot of fun. Chris and Michael had never met in person, even though they had corresponded over social media for quite some time. They're both being previous guests on the show. Chris is the legal name of former porn star Danny Wylde, if you didn't know. Michael Seidlinger is Michael Seidlinger. Sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy, drinking buddies.
Care.
Oh, now we're actually live.
All right.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I don't know. Well, you're the host. Tell us what's going on.
Well, I have two strange men in my apartment that are trying to get out of here desperately. Like I was told before the interview started, like, we have hard outs. We have to get the fuck out of here. We don't want to be in your apartment for 6 hours again.
We got places to be.
That's true.
Stories to tell.
We're going to be reading tonight, but no one's going to give a shit who listens to this because it'll be over.
It'll be over, yeah.
I know. I was hoping to get you guys out, like in and out in time where we could actually promote what you guys got going on tonight.
It's okay.
It's fine.
I got sick yesterday, so...
That's right. I already, yeah.
Well, then I'm pouring you more.
I am decked out and
What
ready.
are you drinking?
Tonight we are drinking Elijah Craig mixed with Dayquil.
Chris is drinking Dayquil.
Vicks. It's called Vicks Dayquil. This is my third shot since I've been in here.
Are you going to OD on Dayquil on my show?
Don't you get really like loopy even with Dayquil if you take enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm I just wanted to like join the party.
All right. Cough
Okay.
syrup. Yeah.
That's probably enough for this whole show.
We'll find out.
yeah.
And I'm really excited to have both of you here. Both of you are returning guests, but have never met in person. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but with the power of social media, we kind of known each other for a while.
Yeah, we've kept
Yeah.
in touch. Like Michael's very active on Twitter, and
Probably too active.
I read a lot of your tweets and respond to some of them at least.
Some of them, yeah. I think we actually met or were put into touch via, was it Lauren Sarand?
Yeah.
Lauren Sarand, I think you met her like at Brooklyn Book Fest, was it?
I think that's right.
Yeah, and then I think it was like both her and Chelsea, they kind of like put us in touch. And like, with like, I think Lauren literally told me like, I think you two would hit it off like with some kind of event. And I mean, we'll see tonight, but
Yeah.
I mean, we both have similar vibes, so this is good.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good.
So shout out to Lauren.
Lauren and Chelsea.
And Chelsea Hodson. Yeah.
I feel like they both kind of like put me in the loop of the NYC lit crowd or any lit crowd. I don't know, and like a lot of people in LA who write seriously. So
now we're all fucking illiterate.
actually, I'm starting to. That's not entirely true. There's some really cool people out here.
I have trouble remembering where people are because I
Right.
like centralize myself like online.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, New York City, there's gonna be like there's a cross section of writers there, and you
Right.
can kind of like off the top of your head think of like someone. But yeah, I don't know. LA, I'm trying to think. I mean, a really good friend of mine, Chiwan Choi, used to live here for a long time, but I think he's kind of like he's in Pittsburgh. He kind of moves around.
Okay, I don't even know who that is.
He's a great poet.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like you're probably more embedded in this shit than me. I just kind of started to figure out who everyone is like last year, and I'm way behind still.
A year from now, you're gonna be like, that person again.
Yeah, well, it's cool to be online because, like, I mean, I want people to come to our shit tonight, but man, you gotta be like, most readings are fucking awful.
Yeah.
They're like one of the dumbest things to do, but like you gotta do them, and like occasionally
You
it's
don't
like a
have
brilliance.
well, you got to do them. That's a lie. But like, yeah, I feel like we are at this point where it's like max capacity with readings. Like everyone, even people I know that are amazing at giving
Yeah.
readings, they're like, oh god, I don't want to go to this fucking reading. I remember this one tweet. I think it was like Shane Jones that tweeted out. He's like, yeah, my first literary experience for the literary community was attending this poetry reading at a library. Nobody showed up, not even the poet. And I was like, yep, that's very fucking true.
That makes sense.
It's like there's just like this anxiety to it, and like there's just monotony to it.
How many people do you think are gonna come tonight?
I don't know, but like what matters is we're gonna have fun because we're trading pieces. We're not even reading our own shit tonight. He's reading from my book. I'm reading from his book. I think that happened like organically over the phone. We talked about an event. And I was like, let's just do something different. Let's just. I don't know. I think that it's fun for us. If it's fun for us, at least we'll have fun.
So Matt, last time I was here, you were like, I don't read books. Has that changed?
He has books on the shelf. But they look all new. They're
all my fucking roommates. Every last one of those is my fucking roommates. Unless it has like drawings like Sin City and Walking Dead up there, those are mine.
And which happen to be graphic novels.
Yeah, and look like they've actually been read.
But do you like listen? Because you're doing this podcast, obviously. Do you like listen to audiobooks or anything?
I was for a while. The problem is, I was listening to audiobooks at a job where I had to pay attention to shit, and I'd lose my place in the fucking audiobook.
I can't listen to audio. I mean, I can, but I have trouble like tuning into them. There is like a certain like mental switch that you have to do. It's not just like listening to like a podcast. Yeah, like there's this like weird, I don't know, just different kind of mental thing to it.
I've also heard, and this may not be true, I heard it on a podcast, I think on like Bret Easton Ellis's or something like that. He was
You listen to that?
I do, yeah. Well, he invited me on. So,
oh, that's right. You were on that. Yeah.
So then I like listened.
Did you enjoy being on that?
Yeah. Well, I'm like casual friends with him. I like.
that's cool.
Is he a weird dude in real life?
He's got a lot of people don't like him right now.
Well, is it because of that book that he's putting out, or is it?
Well, he's got like he's just he just rails against the left, and that's
Not so popular these days.
so
I mean,
popular.
I still love American Psycho and
Yeah.
Lessons There. They're books that you can't erase from the canon. Like he
Sure.
did awesome things with that. But yeah, admittedly, I kind of lost touch with all his stuff. I feel like there's a number of us that have kind of gone that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his new book, I'm sure, is gonna piss people off just by the title.
It pissed off.
What is the title?
White.
It's called White.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, like an essay collection about being
an old white guy?
Being an old white guy in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so you know, that goes over well these days.
Totally.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make though was not about Brett. It was just
reading.
That people when you listen to audiobooks, the retention is like much lower.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you're like, if I think there's actually a study that he mentioned, and again, this is like secondhand information, but I'm just gonna believe it because it was on on a podcast.
No, it makes perfect sense. Like when you read a book, you sit there, like you may knock out a chapter in a sitting, versus if you do an audiobook, depending on how fast it's read, you may knock it out in 1 or 2 sittings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't listen to audiobooks, so
they just wash over me, and like I don't retain anything at all.
I don't mean either.
Yeah, it's bad.
I tried to listen to The Stand as an audiobook. Like Stephen King.
Yeah.
I haven't read it.
That audiobook is 17 hours.
Yeah, I don't like Stephen King.
He's putting out like 4 books this year, like every year.
4 books?
I swear, like I look on every once in a while I look on Amazon. I just type in Stephen King just to like feel bad, feel miserable about myself. Just like, he has like I feel like 3 or 4 this year.
Is he like doing the James Patterson thing where he just like has other people write them?
I think it's still him that writes it all. It's exclusively I think Scribner that publishes him, and I mean these things are huge. They're like 500, 600 pages.
I feel like he gets paid by the word.
He gets paid no matter what. I don't. He's top 10 like highest paid authors like every year basically.
And he has like an adaptation of his work come out like every 3 months now.
Yeah,
it seems like
which
is good because like he's getting old, and I feel like if you can cash in, why not? Like,
I'm not gonna criticize him. Like I'm just amazed, is what I'm saying. I think I'm amazed at his continued prolific output. And
that's crazy. How many books do you have though? You have like a lot for your age. Right?
I think I have like 12.
You have 12 books,
but
you're like, I feel so bad about myself, Stephen King. I give 12. How old are you?
33.
Okay, so we're the same age. He has 12 books. I have 3 books.
You've had a lot more sex on film.
There's that.
I don't know how. Yeah, but that's like.
Well, it's time consuming.
Writing books.
Books and all. I mean,
being on set, stuck on set all day is time consuming.
Oh yeah. Fucking on. I don't know. I don't fuck on camera.
Well, I know you don't fuck on camera at all. That's why you have books now.
You're catching up. You're just going to take that energy and shift it into books.
Well, no, I mean, that's not what I spent most of my time doing. I don't fucking make hardly any money on books.
Neither do I.
We got to change that shit.
I mean, seriously, I don't make a lot, even though I have 12. They were all almost, I think every single book that I put out is on an independent press. That isn't like, that doesn't mean they're not making any money. It's just like, it's just hard to make money.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally fucking hard to make
money. Because even if you like, sell books, I mean selling books at an indie level, even if like my back end deals are pretty great if I could sell a fuck ton of books, but it's like just making back the money that they spent takes about a year.
Dude, I feel
average.
Like I feel like it's true, but it's like also not even just independent publishers. It's like the book comes out. Granted, like hopefully if you're like with a big press, you have like a decent enough advance that you at least got something out of it, and most people never earn out of that.
Sure.
But like with indies, you get like $3,000 to $5,000 maybe if you're lucky per book. Some people get $0 advance, and they get like maybe 20 to 30% if they're lucky royalty on like. Net.
Yeah, I'm in that category. I have actually a pretty. I mean, I don't know if I want to say I got a 50% back end deal.
That's good.
But that's good.
But 0% up front. So I get like.
Do you get
something?
Like, do you have like?
It's like every 6 months.
What was the biggest check that you've gotten for Body to Job?
I haven't recouped on.
You haven't recouped yet.
Well, I will find out at the end of this month because it's every 6 months and then it's 90 days after that I get. So literally
you'll get something then for that. Like there'll be like that first check's always like pretty solid, and then after that it's like it depends on the book, obviously. Sure. But it's just fucked up how it all is all set up. It makes sense historically, but it just doesn't make sense now.
Yeah, we were just talking about that off air before we got on.
Yeah,
we're in the age of do we really need middlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to argue yes for literary fiction for this is a reason, and it may not be a real reason in terms of making money, but it is a real reason in terms of anyone taking you seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like self-publishing a book right now, a fiction, not like a marketing book or something like that. I think you can do okay, but like no one will review you, and you cannot get your book touched by someone in like a literary circle that will take you seriously.
I mean, 100%. I think the only thing with self-publishing right now that we've finally seen a shift like for the better, if you're a poet or something that like, if you're in the category that whatever you're writing is in a category that's not directly fiction, not directly like whatever, like if you're like more into poetry, more into like, I don't want to say self-help, but something like, more ephemeral.
Sure.
You have the capacity to do that, and it's literally
like
a leveraging
a chat book type of thing.
Well, I mean, like, remember Instagram poets and stuff like that? Like, I feel like that, I don't know if the moment has passed already for it, but there was a period of time where people were putting their books, their self-publishing via Create Space, and they're making so much money off of it.
Fucking good for them. Have you done that?
No. I mean, I did like a little experimental kind of thing with Broken River Books. J. David Osborne, good friend of mine who runs the press. I approached him with a poetry collection that I just wanted to see if I could write poetry. I mean,
sure.
It was really just like confessional stuff. It was called Standard Loneliness Package. Came out last Valentine's Day. The idea was to experiment with that model, which was, all right, what if we made it more like an impulse buy, $6, like, and then we just like put it out the moment we announce it. This will stress test your social media platform. This will stress test like how well of a package that book is. Sure. And so, I mean, it did well. I forget what I think like the first like couple of days we almost hit 200 copies sold.
Oh, so, that's great.
But I mean, naturally $6 a book. I mean, this was like just an experiment. Like we wanted to see what could be done with publishing.
Well, I know there's some people out there writing like trashy romance novels that are self-publishing on Amazon for like $1 a copy and selling thousands of them.
Chuck Tingle remember Chuck Tingle?
That's legit.
Yeah. Chuck, I remember that. I don't know if he's still writing though.
My friend, I don't know if you know this guy. He did porn very briefly, but he's mostly an artist, and I don't even know like to what degree he does that these days. But do you know Zach Smith? He went by Zach Sabbath.
He has that.
Yeah, he's kind of a controversial figure these days.
Oh,
is he really?
In gaming circles.
Oh,
what?
Well, I know he does somewhat well. I don't know anything about the gaming shit, but oh shit, did I get because I contributed like something to his upcoming book. Am I gonna get like canceled?
You might.
What did he do?
Apparently his longtime partner came out with allegations of abuse.
Oh
shit.
And he's
okay. Well,
he put out that book that was like My Life in Porn or some shit like that, right?
It's called We Did Porn.
Yeah,
we did porn. Like a long time ago. Yeah,
that's all I know about him.
Mandy came out. Oh shit. I don't want to talk about this. Can we not?
Okay. I was going to start Googling. We'll run away from that topic.
I just don't like have enough information to have a point of view.
I'm getting it all secondhand because of his porn connections.
Yeah.
Like my friends that are pretty like into gaming were like,
oh, hey, Zach is okay.
Zach is the devil. Someone asked me because I guess he still plays D&D with Charlotte Stokely.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm like, are you friends with Charlotte? Can you check and make sure she's okay? I'm like,
yeah, I used to film their what was it called? I Hit It With My Axe.
Yeah.
I filmed a couple episodes. That was when they were still together. I have no idea.
So he went from porn and he like pivoted to like gaming or something?
Well, yeah, he's a gaming author.
He was a fine artist. I think that's primarily where he made his money. And then during when like alt porn was actually a thing, he dipped his toe in. And I gotta say, and I'll say this, like he was like really bad at porn, but it's because he like wouldn't take Viagra or anything, so he like just wasn't hard in most of his scenes. But he's like nice to me at least. And then I don't know. I've sort of rarely kept in touch with him. I hadn't heard about this, so I don't know what to say about that. But I did contribute to an upcoming game thing. He ran a Kickstarter last year. It's gonna come out. I don't know what to say now, but
well, it's better now than
new topic. Yeah.
It's just better now than like when it comes out in the backlash may come.
Well, we were talking about the middleman thing. Like, off camera before we started, you were talking about how like there's being money again. Like, there's money again in porn, but it's more like direct from that person's platform.
Well, it's like different middlemen now.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, so like for example, tonight I'm having you read this story that like really fucking digs at Pornhub because in a way they basically ruined the old model of business.
Yeah. Not basically. They did. But they're coming. But now all new performers who have come out around in the last 5 years pretty much love Pornhub because now they're basically getting, if you can be smart enough to produce your own content, it's kind of like a YouTube payout structure. So,
makes sense, yeah.
But it didn't used to be that.
No, it used to be they were just stealing from motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So
that couldn't have lasted very long. I mean, like, right? Like the
problem is there's no congressman who's going to go to bat for porn's IP like they did for music and movies.
Yeah.
But now, like, there's Pornhub, clips for sale, ManyVids, a bunch of sites where, like, basically you take a clip of yourself fucking somebody or just jerking off and you put that on like 10 different platforms
and you can monetize it.
It. And like, you might not make a lot from each platform, but altogether, I think you can start to now make a living. But as a producer, like invested in porn, like fucking LOL.
On that note, I got a question. Like, are you able to monetize any of your stuff or is it owned by other studios?
So here's the only thing that happened in which I still make any residuals is not from stuff that I used to be in. Cause no, you don't get all your contracts are like a one-time payment.
Yeah.
Unless you did something real weird. But right when I quit, I was pretty fucked financially and I was doing like a lot of stuff. I was like hooking on the side and like making little jerk off videos and I made like kind of a lot of them, and then I started once I got into post-production, which is basically what I do for a living now. I was doing some content management for other people, and I was seeing how they started to make money. So I'm sure you see on my Twitter, I like have an OnlyFans.
I see that. I'm like, that's what I assume it is, right? Like you click on that and what, like it's like a subscription model kind of thing?
Yeah, but basically because it's not what I'm trying to promote, I just don't put anything for free. I'm just like, either you want to pay me or you don't. I don't give a shit if you want to see like a sample. It's all behind a paywall and it's all just like amateur like iPhone videos or pictures. And I'll still make some these days that are new, but I even start to recycle some shit. It's just like...
Dude, it's like Twitter. People recycle all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like I make a ton of money, but I make like, $500 to $800 a month, which is fucking great.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
That's awesome, yeah.
For minimal effort? Fuck yeah.
Yeah. No, for like jerking off a bunch. Yeah. I think it's great.
Hey, no one's paying me $1 single to jerk off, so...
Well, you should try it, man. Do some fucking like some bear shit. People would love that. I don't know. I think.
Well, if you people don't start buying the advertised products real soon, you're gonna have to watch me jerk off. I'm not threatening you with it. It's not gonna be a promise.
Okay.
That's cool though. I mean, that's a good amount.
I'm just gonna slide into your DMs with me jerking off. Like, give me money.
It's just gonna start happening.
Yeah. All right. I mean.
Drop your latest episode, but then underneath it, there's like, by the way,
it's just me jerking off.
Or it's like that episode of IT Crowd. Have you seen IT Crowd?
Of course.
Yeah, like where like was it Renham or whatever? He had like those like single frames of like himself, like basically scantily clad, like seductively, like just popping up on different videos. Like you do that. You have this episode, and then like there's single frames of you just like
Fight Club style.
Yeah. Fight Club style.
I didn't know about
this. You gotta watch. You gotta watch IT Crowd. It's a British comedy show. I think there's only like 4 seasons, but their seasons are short. Like British shows.
Where is it?
Netflix. It's on Netflix right now. Yeah, binge that shit. Just like, especially since you're feeling under the weather, just fucking watch that shit. It's so there's not one bad episode.
I got tomorrow, and then I gotta be on set supposedly, but
you can burn through a lot of it in one day.
It's Netflix. I am on an anti-net. I hate Netflix.
Why?
So much.
Why?
Every fucking show I watch that is a Netflix. Is this a Netflix original?
No, it's a BBC.
BBC.
Oh, well, maybe it's fine.
It's like classic like British comedy.
You gotta admit, Netflix originals are the goddamn worst writing in the world.
Some of them are pretty bad.
I fucking hated Bird Box. That was
it's fucking
didn't even watch it.
Don't watch it.
I wasn't going to.
I don't even fucking understand how that was made. I mean, like, yes, it's based off of the book, and I'm sure the book is a million times better. But like, I just what?
I couldn't get through Bird Box.
I have a problem with TV. Like, I can't binge a season. I like the idea of 2 hours. The movie's 2 hours. Give me that. Done.
That's very conventional. I like that.
Yeah, I'm conventional.
Well, that was the big problem with Netflix's Marvel stuff is they were essentially 13-hour movies.
Yeah. Like, I enjoy Jessica Jones?
Yeah, Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I watched the first season. I'm like, yeah, I like the character, but I mean, who's a stretch to like just stick with it.
Right. They're just like, we're just going to throw filler bullshit in just to try to keep this 13 episodes.
In the back of my mind, I'm watching those episodes. I'm like, I could be doing something so much more productive with my time.
Are you guys watching anything that's good? I'm always asking people. I feel like no one watches the same shit anymore.
I was watching Crashing until HBO canceled it.
Wait, what?
Crashing?
I don't even know what that is.
Crashing?
Crashing.
Spell that. Crashing.
Yeah.
I thought you said crashing, like a
crashing,
like
bro.
A kraken with a
No, okay. Crashing.
I'm also on a lot of Dayquil, FYI.
It's starting to kick in.
He's having a lot of Dayquil. I've been drinking already.
All right.
I need to catch up.
Crashing. What? I have HBO. I don't know what that is.
So it was a pretty realistic show about New York comics, starring Pete Holmes.
I don't want to see that, but you can talk about it.
I don't know. Should I know who Pete Holmes is?
He's a fairly famous comic, but it starts off with semi-autobiographical where his wife is cheating on him and he ends up moving to New York to full-time pursue comedy and he's crashing on famous comedians' couches.
Oh, okay.
I get it.
That's cool.
Okay.
And it went 3 seasons and then HBO didn't renew it.
I'm not watching any. I'm like, the next thing I want to watch is the new Jordan Peele, Us.
I've heard good things.
You saw it?
Man, I didn't.
Don't ruin it for me.
I won't talk too much about
actually, the only thing
I was really not.
Yeah, I saw that reaction. Okay, wait. All I want to know is, does he actually do something innovative and new with the doppelganger idea? Or is it something that we expect?
I don't think it's something you expect, but in my opinion, it's a little bit silly. And I mean, here's the thing, though. I think I went in with pretty high expectations. And for like a fucking like run-of-the-mill horror movie, I don't think it's that bad. It's definitely stylized. Like, it's made well. But the thing is that Jordan Peele has been hyped as like the next fucking Alfred Hitchcock for the past year because everyone loved Get Out. And I think it's probably put a lot like way too... I came out of it and I was like, well, that was okay. But it's also kind of like... And I don't know. You might have a different reaction. My girlfriend liked it, but like all our other friends thought it was kind of...
Well, I'm just like... I'm always obsessed with like narrative structure and how you like take that idea, that like premise, and you like layer it throughout however many acts, 5 acts, 3 acts, whatever. So like naturally, I'm wondering what he's going to do with the doppelganger family thing because that's been done to death.
Sure. I want to talk to you when you see it.
Yeah.
I guess we can't have that conversation right now.
Well,
you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
In fucking New York City, it's hard to get to a showing. It's all like sold out right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was playing at Pasadena ArcLight literally every 30 minutes yesterday. Not when did I see it? Not yesterday, the day before. What day is it? I saw it Saturday. Saturday. Okay.
Is it Monday? It is Monday.
It's Wednesday. I'm just gonna fuck with Chris and just tell him random days about the show.
Well, then I should be at work. I'm probably fired.
I shouldn't even be in LA anymore. I should be in Portland. What the fuck?
Well,
It's like, we're out.
And that's okay. I gotta go.
Did any of you see the Gaspar Noé movie? Climax?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
Are you a fan of him?
I am, and I'm not anymore.
I think the best part of that movie, not to spoil it, is before he does his thing. Like
the first 10 minutes, wonderful.
Yeah. The you know what we're talking about, right? The climax.
Did you see Climax?
I have not seen it. So we're just gonna put a spoilers.
All right.
Even if spoilers don't actually happen, we're just gonna say spoilers.
Do you like Gaspar Noé? Do you see like Irreversible or?
I liked Enter the Void.
Enter the Void is fucking great. Right?
And I liked what else did you? What was the one?
I did not like Love. The first movie is the one. It's like it's super like racist and shit, but it's kind of heavy. And
I Stand Alone.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one. I didn't like Irreversible. It was just like what I mean. Like stylistically, it was kind of interesting, but like I have trouble saying I like it given the 17 to 18 minute nonstop like rape scene.
I
I don't know.
At the age that I saw that, it left an impression. I'll still stand by it.
Fine. I mean, totally cool. But Enter the Void is where he got it right, I think.
And then Love was boring as fuck.
I didn't watch it.
I couldn't even finish it.
I remember hearing it was like 3 or 4 hours long. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit through something that's like I know it's just gonna be like
it's porn,
bad porn, over stylized.
And
bad.
I watched it at home, and about an hour and a half through, I just started jerking off. And because it's like you're watching a porn, and it's like nice lighting, basically, but then it's like
it's bad sex, though, right?
I don't know. I mean, they're hot, I guess. Like everyone in the movie is attractive, so like
these movies had like actual sex during the filming of them, if I remember correctly.
It did. That one did, right?
Yeah, it's real hardcore. Yeah. Like one of my friends like tried out for it. Do you know Chad?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he didn't get it, obviously, but the movie is like from a narrative point of view is like his tamest film, and so but like the selling point is it's real sex. But if you work in porn, you realize like real sex is boring as fuck unless you're aroused. So to see that
100%,
to see that in a theater or at home, it's like watching sports if you don't care about sports.
Yeah,
like who the fuck wants to watch someone kick a ball around a field for 2 hours unless you like know the ins and outs of what's going on? Same as like who the fuck wants to watch someone have sex or anything so monotonous? It's like, would you want to watch someone eating a cheeseburger for 2 hours?
Dude, some people do. There's like that thing that like people like eat on camera and you just like watch.
Oh yeah, people are
what do you
totally.
Call it again? I forgot what you call it, but like you got the computer in front of you. We should look this up. But there's like it's a whole phenomenon.
Yeah,
it's like theaters or some shit.
It's like more so like I know like there's a lot of Japanese like cam people that like just like have huge spreads of food and they just eat
it.
Yeah, and people are just like. Yeah, it's like think like Twitch, right? But like for food.
Okay. Yeah,
dude, I'd love to have someone just like people pay me like
do it
a lot to like eat food or like play video games or something.
I just googled watching people eat fetish. The first article is a HuffPo article where a woman makes $9,000 a month eating in front of a webcam.
Yep, there you go.
I'm living life wrong.
Yeah, you should do that. You don't even have to jerk off, man.
Fuck this podcast bullshit.
End it now. Start. Let's
I have some food 4 cameras. You people can just watch me gorge myself. No more having to book guests.
I am hungry. We should order food.
$9,000 a month eating food?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Why aren't we doing this? How do you...
I don't know.
I don't know.
She's a very attractive South Korean woman.
It is primarily like it's a Korean and a Japanese thing.
Yeah, that's probably
it's like an ASMR kind of thing. I think for like people that really are into it, it's like also like unboxing videos and stuff like that on YouTube. Like there's this like cross section of people that really relax. They need to relax that stuff. It clicks something in their brain clicks and it just allows them to relax.
No one's gonna relax watching me eat. So it's a very stressful situation.
With this sort of like cross like these, I mean. Anytime something like this gets brought up to me, I'm like, I don't know if it's something that like porn maybe 50 years ago, like people keep to themselves, or like who are these people? Do you know anyone who admits to doing this, or is it like a shame thing that's just like it's like your next door neighbor, but they won't tell you that they just sit there watching this girl eat? What is that?
I just heard
that's like, notifications because I have the web browser open.
Okay, well, I think like. I'm sure there are a lot of Americans that like it, but it's closeted, I'm sure. But in like Korea and Japan, people talk about it. It's a thing.
Well, in Japan, people sell.
What is the shame?
There's something cultural, I'm sure. I mean, like I don't know, but I know for a fact that like it's such a niche thing here that anyone who's really devout into it probably is like part of like a community that.
Chris, people have problems talking about like their normal like. Quote vanilla sexuality.
Yeah, there's still problems with that. Like people like can't even talk about their own sex life.
But I live in this bubble. I live in the opposite of that, where I was like around like I'm sex positive and like I'm into BDSM, and I'm just like shut the fuck up. I literally don't want to hear about you having sex anymore. Like, we just talk about like the weather.
Right. Cool story, bro. You got laid. Let's move on.
Like, tell me, do I have to fucking wear a jacket today?
Yeah, like I literally. So I get that, but also I understand. I live in LA around people who are like, I watch porn, and then like, I would like to talk to the people who are afraid to talk about like having missionary sex
because they're afraid to admit that they have an erection.
Yeah, because like
someday we're just like we're gonna get all that we need from like some sort of technology device, and we won't ever have to leave our rooms ever again.
Great. I mean, I don't know.
There's like what was it? It was a Black Mirror episode. That one. Do you remember that episode where it was like they would go on treadmills and they like bike for a certain amount of time and like have like they'd like earn credits or whatever, and then they would spend it on essentially watching different things.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It's kind of, I mean, I'm not saying the future's that, but there's an element of it for sure.
What are you into? Do you have some weird thing that you're at home?
I like food. Food shit. No, not really, but I've watched it.
Have you jerked off to it though?
Not yet. Maybe.
Do you think that's the point though?
What to
jerk off?
It's
isn't everything?
Well, it's a different kind of release. I don't think it's a sexual release. I think it's more of like it's like ASMR stuff. Like it clicks, something in your brain clicks, and it allows you to like release those endorphins in a way.
Like the same people that are like breaking soap up and all that shit.
What?
Oh, the
Okay, this is something I don't even fucking know about.
Matt, is this what you're into?
Breaking.
I would love for one of you to be like, yeah, I love watching people break soap.
I'm trying to think of like the weirdest thing that I'm like into, like that kind of stuff. I mean, like I've watched all kinds of porn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like weird fetish stuff, like I've watched the food stuff. I dig ASMR. ASMR, it works for me. Like I know for some people it doesn't.
So what do you do with it?
Okay, so it's like an hour, at least an hour long.
Yeah.
It's like the person talking like this.
Right.
Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and open this book here.
So I
it has this
understand
nice
what
texture.
it is.
It's like that kind of soothing.
But you listen to that for an hour?
I've done that, yeah.
And what does it do for you?
For me, it relaxes me the way like meditation will relax you.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. But it's the opposite of like sexual. I mean, it might be sounding sexual because of the voice kind of thing, but really, and the person may be attractive in that regard, but like it's usually not sexual.
What have we seen?
Why? There's like that reminds me of like those videos where they zoom in on like pimples and like blackheads and stuff like that. I can't deal with that. And they like pop it intentionally.
Dr. Zit Popper.
That type of shit is makes me so fucking grossed out.
Yeah, there's like the whole thing. There's another thing right there. Like people get off.
We're watching
their way.
People pick up crumbled soap. I don't really understand what's happening here, but
that's glass?
No, it's soap.
Pieces of soap.
Yeah.
To me, that's not the same as picking your zits.
That's worse. I'm not into that. No. Watching like someone like literally squeeze up a blackhead.
Fuck, just you saying that like fucking gives me a visceral reaction.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, Chris was very visibly uncomfortable there. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But this thing with the soap, I get that's
don't get
fine.
it. Yeah.
I don't get it either. You know, I'm just real. I'm finding out as I get older that I'm just real basic, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Like, Matt, what kind of porn are you into? Well, pretty much what Brazzers produces. I like big tits and pretty vanilla porn.
Isn't that like the biggest studio right now? Brazzers?
Well, they're owned by the same company that owns Pornhub, so all the traffic goes there. I don't know if that's really what people are watching, but it's ranked high because it's the same company.
It's the same company, and we're back.
I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Like it just seems like very like boring.
I just like buttholes mostly. So anything that's like about that, like it doesn't really matter. Like if it's like boy or girl, it's just kind of like.
Were you ever into like hentai or anything like that?
You know, not a whole lot though. Interestingly enough, like I don't really consume porn the same way anymore I think it's just because of the past 5 years me working in post and production so much.
It like burned you out.
It burned me out like hardcore. Like I hate it at this point. But occasionally, because I'll do like content management for some people, I'll be on Pornhub just uploading their shit, and in the meantime like stumble across I kind of like these CG porns. I'm a little bit into it.
So the reason I bring up hentai is because I'm just interested in like just the fact that someone drew this like frame for frame,
right?
And it gets so fucking absurd and like a parody of itself, like especially when it get like tentacles and huge like disproportionate dicks and shit like that start coming in. I'm like, whoa! I'm not saying I'm into it. I'm just like I'm fascinated by it.
Well, you know that's in response to the Japanese government's handling of porn, right?
Sure. The pixelation stuff?
Yeah. Because they still pixelate it.
They still pixelate genitals.
Why?
Because it's illegal to show it.
Wow.
Still in Japan?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about it, but I believe you. I see the pixelation. So.
Yeah, they still pixelate, the genitals in Japanese porn. So hentai was the answer to that.
So, Yeah, and
makes sense.
I've heard so many girls like that too, and I wonder what that is, like the gendered thing about.
What, hentai?
Hentai. A lot of my female friends like are all about hentai.
I think it's just because like
porn.
You kind of, there's like a subconscious element of it where like you're watching something that's completely fake, but it's also extreme fantasy.
Okay.
And like anything could really happen in that stuff. Like it gets really dark and like violent in some cases, like, but it also gets really seductive and all this other crazy stuff. I think it's just that. It's like I think there's a similarity to people that are really devoutly into like animated stuff too. Like the idea that humans have made this like visualized piece of art kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm not saying. I mean, like maybe hentai is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But like in terms of art, like I don't know. But it's like definitely a fascination for a lot of people. It's a fantasy.
I think that the interest to me, kind of from a visual point of view of the like CG stuff, is how
it's like Uncanny Valley though.
Yeah,
it's
but
creepy.
it's so that I don't know. It is weird. I don't know that have I jerked off to it. I probably, because why not? But
it's there. Why not?
But it's like this. It is definitely Uncanny Valley, but it's that kind of smoothness that doesn't exist in
Have you
reality.
tried the games? Like the
No.
They're like the browser game kind of things. They're like you use the CG stuff, and you can just like you click little buttons. Like, all right, you're gonna do this position.
And like the dick, you just guide the dick in. How does it work?
I mean, the ones that I've tried, you can kind of like you can do it automatic, like speed, like whatever.
Okay.
But you can also like use the keyboard and like the mouse and like do whatever.
So you can basically play this pussy like it's StarCraft. Just
yeah, and like
do you do this, Matt?
No,
the thing, whatever it was that I played, like was like it's like Second Life, like like that level of graphic fidelity was like it didn't even look like I was like these are polygons being like moved in different ways. Okay, whatever. I don't know.
Sure.
But of course I was like intrigued as I tried it out. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to me.
I'm just always interested because a lot of people in porn in the past few years have talked about like how we're going to move into this like whole VR thing, but I don't feel like the money is there to facilitate it really, because the best VR stuff is all CG, right? But like, where is this money coming from? Because now the way that porn works, there is money, but for like performers to put up their clips, not to hire like an animator, right? Or is there? I don't, because I can't do VR. It gives me a it makes me seasick.
Well, let's talk about VR in general. Like I feel like people are trying so hard to get there with VR across the board, like VR films and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not on board with that. I think it messes with my head halfway through. I wear glasses, so I have to put glasses on top of my glasses.
Oh, so do you see it the same?
Yeah, you see it the same, but it's very uncomfortable.
Right, it just kind of pushes against your face.
Yeah, so you do the same thing. Yeah. It's just like, this sucks. And then I got to sit there for 2.5 hours of like there's like obvious, just overproduced like CG stuff that's popping at you and whatever.
Well, it's kind of like how 3D films started out, like the modern era of 3D films were super gimmicky to make use of the technology.
Yeah,
but it's I feel like less of those movies are coming out right now than were like a few years ago.
It's because it's not taking off. I don't think VR is the future.
I don't think it is either.
I don't know why people keep on fucking trying.
Have you seen any of it that you're like, this was awesome?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Never. What about you, Matt? You have a lot of movies. Like you're big on movies. So like, have you seen a single movie that's actually made good use of VR?
No, not at all.
There you go.
And especially on the VR porn front.
How does it even work? How many cameras are there? Like,
well, so there's there's like a 360. There's like a 360 camera.
Yeah, it's just one, right?
And like the dude cannot move.
Yeah,
that's fun.
I've never been on set for one. I hear a lot because I have friends who still perform and they talk about it.
So
it
how do you?
Horrible.
Well, I don't even know how that.
You pretty much the girl pretty much steps into frame and then steps out of frame
But there's still the problem because on all VR that you actually shoot, you could only get so close to the subject. The only way to get rid of that is through actually like CG stuff, right? Which is my point, that the only way to get like a fully immersive anything in VR is to animate it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like the money is ever going to be there with porn because we've passed the brink of people, like any substantial amount of people really wanting to pay for porn. It's now just like a McDonald's type of consumption.
The subscription model thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I mean, it exists
Paper
still,
clips and stuff,
like
yeah.
obviously because I'm making however much money per month on
500 to 800.
Yeah, but
You said
that's-
that earlier.
yeah.
That's solid, I think.
But that's not.
I mean, I'm sure like if you have to compare it to like some scale.
But let me just make the point that when I was in college,
Yeah.
people who had subscription sites were making like $30,000 a month. That is a massive difference.
Well,
That doesn't
but how
happen
many of
anymore,
those were
right?
dudes?
Fucking, if you were gay, if you're doing stuff,
Well, on the gay side of the house,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So, or if you and
Yeah.
your girlfriend or whatever, the thing is like, I don't know. That's a whole fucking thing. Why I didn't run down that a little bit more? But now I don't know. I wish I had taken more advantage of that at the time. Honestly, I just, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also wish I had bought cryptocurrency when it was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Can't go back
Yeah.
in time, sadly.
So
Damn it. Yeah.
so-
That's like in the shitter too. Like
yeah,
I know.
it hasn't bounced back, right?
My portfolio looks like hot garbage.
So
Yeah.
Bitcoin's done or what? What's the
No,
what's
it's
the
not
status
gonna. It's not gonna be done. But it.
I
Like
still don't get it.
This conversation is amazing.
What? Whatever.
No. I'm down to go. I have a little bit of Bitcoin. It's
I have-
also garbage. Yeah.
So like, isn't it like okay? What I never got about Bitcoin is like it's always like one coin was like at its height like 1,000 or more.
20,000 at one
Yeah,
point.
but like you're trading like little increments of a single coin for
Right.
most of it. Like
Right.
it's not like oh here's $20. You know, it's like here's like
Yeah, but if you go to-
002 blank.
When I was in Brazil
coin.
or when I was in Colombia, I've never been to Brazil. When I was in Colombia in September, it's like 20,000 pesos to $1.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah. My
Jesus Christ,
big
BTC
challenge
is-
mine is
Oh,
just
me
like
too.
ugh.
Excuse me, guys. I have to go commit suicide real quick. BTC is down to under 4,000 a coin.
BTC, really?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna open up. Let's see. So I had
Let me open up my checking account while you guys do
my
that.
Coinbase account and see how much. So I had at once a bunch, like I don't know, more like $800 invested in this. Then it went. Then I took a bunch out and I put in 400. So I'm at about half of what I invested. So I only have like $210 now. In
I don't want to
Bitcoin.
even know what my portfolio is looking like because I started getting into altcoins at one point.
Oh, you're fucked. Yeah, people were really into this even last year.
What was the other thing? It was like Hyperion or like Ethereum.
Ethereum, yeah.
Were you into that?
Oh no,
I had some Ethereum.
I still have some Ethereum. I have fucking Tron.
What the hell?
I don't know
Well,
what
I know
that
what
is.
Tron is like in terms of an IP.
This is
But-
the dorkiest conversation.
Right.
Well, we went from porn to
Yeah,
Come
all
on.
of it. We're not. Yeah, never mind.
It wasn't dorky at one point. Now it's
So we're
dorky.
going up. We're going uphill from porn to Bitcoin.
I don't know.
We'll find where we go next.
We went from like authors to gaming to porn to cryptocurrency. I mean, we're hitting all the nerd buttons.
We had like the niche like thing for a little bit,
Yeah.
like crushing soap and
Yeah,
Yeah.
ASMR.
yeah.
I mean, all we gotta do is talk about comic books now, and we've hit everything, and maybe Magic the Gathering.
I liked. Okay, fine. Let's talk about that shit. I didn't really collect it, but I liked the fucking artwork. That was my thing with like the trading card stuff. Like even like the Marvel cards back in the day. I liked it for the artwork. I didn't really like it for the
I
whatever
never
playing the
played it.
game. Yeah.
It looked. I could have. I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I liked. From what I've seen, I like the artwork. I just never got into it. I was briefly into comics at a very young age, but I don't know anything about them.
I mean, I wasn't seriously suggesting we tangent onto those, but
you
know,
mentioned it. We're going.
All right, you pick a topic. We can't keep
Yeah.
talking about Bitcoin though.
I know it'll depress me. I'll
I have
slit my
nothing to
wrists on air.
contribute for that. I have no Bitcoin. I don't get Bitcoin.
Well, what it boils down to is all currency is an illusion. This is just an illusion not backed by a government.
All right, so we're going conspiracy theories.
Let's go on this.
No, it's not a conspiracy theory.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Like, we could pivot that way next. Just saying.
It's
So
not a
this would be
conspiracy
like-
theory.
No, it's for. I know.
Well, seriously,
No,
All-
I know.
all money is just
I know.
an illusion we all
I
agree
know.
upon.
It's fucking paper with little it's printed paper that's been passed down.
We agree that that person
All
is worth more.
taxes are theft, Matt Slayer. Let's get on the libertarian.
I'm not getting on
podcast
libertarian
pod-
bullshit.
Okay.
I believe in social services, and I have no problems giving my illusionary money to them to pay for it.
All right. Yeah.
All taxation is theft. No,
I am
let's
not some
get-
crazy libertarian.
I mean, either.
Never trust your own eyes. Apparently, there's this poster behind us.
That's the roommates.
Okay. I don't know. I've been looking at that like the whole time, basically, between Chris and that, and then you occasionally. It's between both of you, so I'm like pivoting back and forth.
You have like a shepherd fairy print fucking framed in your house.
Once again, this is all the roommates.
Oh, okay.
Hey, yeah.
The movie posters are all me.
Yeah, and there's some good ones. Man Bites Dog, good fucking movie.
I like that movie.
You'd be amazed how many people come in here and have no idea that movie exists.
Oh, well, fuck them. Who cares? Shit.
It's a funny movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And they're horrible human beings for not knowing about it.
I haven't heard about it. No one's name dropped that movie in a long time. And like, I think on my end, like, I don't hear people talking about that one. I don't know.
When was the first time you saw that movie?
I was probably like 25, 26, something like that. I don't know.
Oh, like you saw it fairly recently.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw that shit on VHS in high school.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay.
I'm old.
I mean, I feel old.
Well, what's old's like what? Like
26.
26, 27.
You can rent a fucking car. You're old.
So what is that? 25?
25.
Yeah,
you hear about how the 27 club is now like accelerated to the 21 club.
The meaning like when you can kill yourself and be cool.
Basically all the musicians are like dying like age 20.
Oh yeah, like fucking Peep. Who else did it?
Are you a fan of Lil Peep? I'm a
Fuck yeah.
I fucking love Lil Peep. I was actually he has this jacket that like it was like a one of a kind jacket. His style is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I saw on Etsy that someone's been repurposing and making those. It's $300, but I'm like,
Are you gonna pay for the $300?
I'm not. No, but I've been staring at it. Like this morning, I stared at it for like a good 3 to 5 to 10 minutes.
I would do that. Yeah, my girlfriend.
Yeah, he died at 21, right?
Yeah. She met him like a couple of weeks prior.
Shit.
I was very jealous. Now I'm even more jealous. But
You're jealous that he died at 21?
No, I mean,
yes, apparently,
sort of. I mean, in like an ethereal way, yes, but not. No, I mean that she met Lil Peep. Like, you know, as I get older and older, and all of the stuff that I was into as a teenager gets basically like it's like classic rock. Like, what was that Rolling Stone article he posted? Death metal is classic rock.
Literally, yeah. It was like, oh, so it's official. Death metal is classic rock.
Yeah.
But it's fucking funny now because we're seeing all of like the abrasive, like the transgressive, and like power violence and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Becoming like whatever.
Totally.
It's like now like emo rap and all those variations. Rap is like taken over. Like it's not even rap anymore. It's just whatever it is.
It's just hip hop.
It's even not even that. It's like whatever it is.
But like the Peep stuff,
yeah,
that it's a transferred, or like the one that I got into kind of ironically and then actually really liked is like Ghost Main.
Ghost Main's good because you know what it's called? It's called trap metal. That's what it's called now.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Scarlord?
No, and I'm still, my mind is blown by trap metal.
But I got
it's literally like, remember Rage Against the Machine and all that stuff was like rap metal, rap.
Yeah, it was rapcore.
So it started on the metal side, right? Like it was basically musicians that are already playing metal. They incorporated the rap. Now what we're seeing in modern day 2019 is the opposite. We're seeing people that grew up with like Manson and all this other stuff taking what they can't actually do, like they can't play the guitars that way. Right. They don't distort it. They use samples, but they're innovating using those samples and they're screaming over it and they're doing variations of vocal technique. And there's this guy named Scarlord. It's one word, all lowercase. Scar LXRD.
Maybe I have heard this. Anyway, I mean, that's interesting.
He's like, I liked a couple of his songs. Like the one that really popped was called Heart Attack, and like I think like on YouTube it's like almost 1 billion plays, maybe.
Wow.
But
he's British.
Yeah. He used to be a YouTube,
but the thing, like,
dude.
With Ghostman and all of the, I don't know. I'm not.
Ghostman's good.
I like it, and I had so much fun at that show. My girlfriend got us in because she was doing an art show.
I remember. I thought I saw like some stories about from the show.
But then
do you have a shirt? Do you have a shirt?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
It's got the death metal script and stuff. Yeah.
But then I went and saw fucking like Behemoth and some older metal bands. What was it? You had mentioned. I saw like
Cannibal Corpse. I don't
know. It wasn't Cannibal Corpse. It was whatever. But like real fucking metal band, and it was like
boring.
It was kind of boring.
Yeah,
I gotta say, it was like all 45-year-old dudes,
like slowly headbanging and chugging.
Yeah,
it's just like I was stuck like halfway back in this huge auditorium, and I was like, I just want to see Ghostman, even though Ghostman is basically like Limp Bizkit and Nine Inch Nails.
It's I mean, like
it is.
The problem is like the metalhead people are not innovating anymore. Like they're kind of stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
Some still are. I saw Mayhem like a year ago.
Was it actually
they're still
Yeah,
playing?
they put an amazing show on.
I almost don't believe you, but
I need to watch
cool.
that documentary that they put out on Netflix.
You and Chad went and saw the documentary, right?
No, we saw the movie that Vice put out. It's
Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos. It is hilarious and pretty bad. But also, what's his name? Rory Culkin. I mean, I guess I assume both of you are straight. But like he's so fucking hot in the movie. But like he is.
But he's not actually hot.
But like that's the only good. But even like if you're get your sexuality out of the way, like he's had such a charisma about him. It's the only appealing thing about the movie.
He's got more charisma than Macaulay, for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree. And it's sort of like I haven't seen a kind of like $1 million plus movie about black metal culture and even how stupid it is. It's just kind of nice to see like an attractive boy wear that stuff. It just got me thinking about like stuff in the future that I want to do because all subculture is like really made up of like nerdy fucking like adolescents. So we only get like these movies maybe 10 to 20 years after the subculture begins. You know, like punk rock, like everyone grew out of it and then they became studio executives and like were able to make like a movie about it.
It's like SLC punk, basically. That whole narrative where like, you know, we're punks, but then they grew up and like he's like literally a banker now or some shit.
But like that's the only time you get a movie made about something.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of interesting in a way because finally you have like a celebrity playing that role. And I like that because I still like to see like an attractive person, not like the fucking like pimply face kid who really likes black metal. Right. It's like that. I don't know.
Yeah. The guy's like, I would really like to get laid and leave my basement, but no.
I mean,
I was that kid, so
it like literally has made it's mainstream culture now. So I mean, like that's something had an effect when it gets to that level. Like the same way like hardcore punk back in the day, like Bad Brains and shit like that. There are so many documentaries and people are still fucking fascinated about that shit.
And there are a lot of Black Flag shirts in the movie Us, by the way. So
really,
why?
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Did Henry Rollins, is he like executive producer of this thing or something?
I don't know.
That wouldn't strike me as something Rollins would do.
I know.
But don't you think that like for people 30 and up, like Black Flag is now like the Beatles or something? There's like no one who hasn't heard of Black Flag.
It's true.
Yeah, but there's so many people that have heard of Black Flag have probably never actually heard Black Flag's music.
But it doesn't matter really. Like when you're talking about like Mayhem or something, the fact that you can go to the mall and just like go to the skate shop and there's like a Mayhem shirt, it doesn't. Or like I go out in Los Angeles to any fucking like sort of alt show and there are like a bunch of Mexican kids in Burzum shirts. It doesn't matter that like fucking Varg is like a super white supremacist. It's just a part of culture now that like it's
very much so. The same thing happens to like gangs, like gang culture. Like you see like people like taking it into conventional pop culture. Like I mean, not MS-13 stuff like that. You see people talking about and like utilizing elements of it in some kind of like saleable form,
right,
consumable form. It's fucking fast. It's such a good sociological topic. It's like fucking great to see how that just like the episteme kind of like splinters out.
Well, because you want to be a rebel.
Everyone wants to be unique.
How do you do that now?
Good point. You become a Star-Lord and you have your one-hit wonder, and then that like pops, and then whatever happens next, it's just like it's a constant revolving door of like trying to innovate and trying to like be the first to do something. It's just sending his fucking Twitter with like hot takes, right? Like I got a hot take for you, and then like that goes viral, and that lasts an hour if you're lucky, and then what's next?
Yeah, it's not 15 minutes of fame anymore. It's like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's fucking true.
I once had a girl actually ask me for a hot take via like a dating app. Like her opener on Bumble was, "Let me get a hot take about." I think feminism was one of the topics. And I went,
"Don't what?" You're just like.
My exact response.
What was your response?
My exact response was, "I'll just pull it up."
Do it. You have your hot take on feminism?
Oh yeah.
We're about to get fucking canceled right now. Being on your podcast.
For the record, it's Matt that's about.
Yeah, Matt.
This only reflects me and me alone.
Matt's opinion only.
Yeah, it's not Chris's, it's not mine.
It doesn't even reflect the show, which is just me these days. But
all right.
I like how we all just. Did you notice when he reached for his phone, we all reached for our phones?
Yes.
So she
That's
opened with
a problem. That's a problem.
hot take on the Great British Baking Show: feminism or leggings as pants.
And you chose feminism?
Yeah,
because you didn't want to go on a date.
Pretty much.
Okay.
My response was, feminism doesn't go far enough. Women shouldn't rest until men are reduced to chattel slavery for opening jars and placing things on high shelves.
My answer is, what did she say?
She didn't respond.
There you go. I guess so.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying that was the answer to that. She didn't respond.
She didn't respond. But
the Great British Cooking Show could have had a great hot take.
I've never actually watched it, so I didn't have anything good to say or bad to say.
I've seen it one episode. I should watch more. I just don't watch a lot of TV these days. It's just kind of...
TV is kind of like Netflix.
I thought it was fucking funny that I said we should be reduced to chattel slavery. Apparently she didn't.
But what is that Twitter feed that's that guy that basically acts like he's like a feminist, whatever. He's like, we should have a feminist caliphate. I mean, there's all this shit going on.
I don't know if that's like a parody account, but there probably is, because there's always a parody account of it. Like, there's a parody account for everything.
Yeah.
A guy in your MFA.
I mean, for fuck's sake, Devin Nunes has a cow parody account.
What?
I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Like, apparently comes from dairy farm. His cow has a parody account. His cow has more followers than he does at this point.
I'm going to read Michael's fucking serial.
What time is it anyway?
Oh, yeah.
5:30.
Oh, shit. We probably got to go soon.
How far away is this thing?
How long? No, we can go for a little longer. Well, I don't know. I always, in LA, I say leave an hour to get there, because we're literally leaving here in
where you guys
rush
going?
hour traffic.
Stories,
just to Echo Park.
Oh, you'll be fine.
But I kind of want to eat something before.
We'll leave it. Okay, so what? This thing starts at 7:30.
Yeah, let's go.
We're gonna leave here at, what time is it? It's 5:30.
5:30.
6. If we can leave, let's wrap this up in 15 minutes so we can leave at 6. Okay.
Clearly, we can just keep talking about shit. It's gonna keep going.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay attention. Is someone paying attention at the time? I'm
not the guy who wants you to stay longer.
I'm on a lot of Dayquil.
Wait. So you said 15 minutes.
This is 15 minutes.
Well, let's at least get till 6.
The only thing we can get is I'm not eating fast food.
No,
I'm like drinking. I realize I'm drinking without lunch, so that's not gonna.
Am I driving you to the event?
Do you have I Uber over here, so I don't have.
I have a piece of shit pickup truck. I can take you because it's only you. I don't have a second seat though. Are you coming? You're not coming. You're not gonna go to reading. It's boring as fuck.
Remember when we talked about readings and how no one likes going to readings? But you should go to them.
They're awesome though. But buy the books.
Yeah, buy the books.
Michael wrote this book that is like kind of crazy about this woman who dates serial killers, gets in a BDSM relationship with serial killers.
And
she doms
do you have
them.
a copy of his book yet?
I don't.
You're not going to read it though. But
I'm illiterate.
Put it on the shelf. Here, get rid of I don't know, pick one. I can't even get rid of these books that
get rid of the Slash fucking.
Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of Slash's biography. You're not going to read that shit, and then put both of our books there.
Both of our books, and then your roommate might be like, "What is this?"
Yeah, there you go.
And then you'll be like, "I'm very well read."
You can get rid of City on Fire.
You
as well.
you literally invited 2 authors to your podcast, and you're like, "I don't read books."
Yeah, but I know you guys have a lot of fucking opinions about a lot of other shit, and you're very entertaining human beings.
Flattery will get you nowhere, Matt.
I already got you on the show. I don't need shit else from you.
Yeah, you already got what you wanted. So yeah. God damn it.
But there's like some fucking like knife sodomy in this thing I'm gonna read of Michael's. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Maybe I will come.
You should.
It's like really intense.
Well, I mean, like,
is lube provided?
Huh?
Is lube provided?
No.
Well, bodily fluids of some other form.
Yeah.
But
was that an offer of saliva?
No,
I don't know.
As I told you, rail the whole.
What are we talking about?
I don't even know.
Buying books.
Buying books.
What are you reading? I'm gonna put Matt out of here. I'm always curious what people are reading because there's so few people these days that
I'm reading. I'm gonna butcher the title. It's like a sentence long, but it's amazing. Okay, so it's called. It's by an author named Andrea Lawler.
Okay.
It's coming out, I think, in May on Vintage. It's called Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl.
Okay. You recommend this?
I recommend this.
Okay.
I started reading it on the plane ride over to LA,
Okay.
and I read like 150 pages in one sitting, which is rare for me actually these days because I'm like also burnt out to some degree on like constant book stuff.
Yeah.
I usually read like a chapter or two, and that's it. This thing just breezed by. Basic premise is Paul is a shapeshifter. Paul can literally grow breasts, turn into a woman, change form, add muscles to himself, whatever. Yeah. And it's like an identity story. He's trying to like figure out what it's like to fuck as a girl. You know, it's all over the place. It's amazing.
Interesting.
It's an infectious story. It's good.
So I'm curious because you seem to be, I don't know, at the center, but you're in the midst of like, people seem to send you a lot of books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that not, that's true. So, but I feel like at a certain point, I mean, that sounds cool at the beginning.
The beginning, yeah.
But at a certain point, it's like, you don't have time to read all these books.
It's like, okay, wait, I look back this way because I remember last time I was here for the first time I was on this podcast, I remember Matt was like showing me like porn screener, like the stuff that you're just getting in the mail.
Yeah.
It's the same shit no matter what the industry is. You get inundated by the content.
Right.
So there is a degree of like burnout. There's a degree of like, I don't have time or interest anymore to look at this stuff.
Didn't I give you a box of porn?
You gave me a box of porn, and like I think
of DVDs porn, but does anyone have a DVD player anymore?
No, that's why
I have two of them.
They like I had like 4 or 5, I think, like actual DVDs, and I just left them wherever I was staying at the time. I was like, here, gift.
As long as they got regifted.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So you kind of have to fight to like stay interested.
Sure.
And when a book like that, like I just described, like when Paul Takes the Form, like that, when that comes out, like when that comes, like that ends up like in your possession and like just like kind of wows you. It reminds you why you even fucking read in the first place.
That's great.
Yeah.
I just started rereading some stuff that like really inspired me like 10 years ago just to get back.
Like what?
So I picked up like some old Dennis Cooper books.
Dennis Cooper's great. Like,
yeah.
He is quite literally, you say who's at the center of things, he's at the center of all this stuff. Like he's like.
Still, do you think?
Oh, I will say always, because he's got this devout following on DC's, you know, his blog.
Yeah.
And people like, his opinion and taste is like top notch. Like
he fucking lauded My Pet Serial Killer. It got on Dennis Cooper's Best of 2018, by the way.
Dennis Cooper's great, like really supportive. He wrote some of the craziest books, like The Sluts is still like awesome. Have you read My Loose Thread?
Yeah, I have
Frisk,
all of them.
They're great stuff. Like anyone listening.
So I started rereading Frisk.
Frisk is great. I think my favorite is like Marbled Swarm, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I 100% disagree with you.
No, you know why?
That's the worst.
You know why? Because
I don't like that book.
Yeah,
that's the only book. You know, okay, why?
Why? Because like the way he like was able to subvert language itself. I couldn't. But here's the thing.
That is really weird.
Okay. No, but here's the thing. It's not something I'd ever read again. It's my favorite of his. But if you ask me like, what would you reread of his? I'd probably go with like, probably like The Sluts or Frisk.
You should read The Sluts.
But the high water, dude, the high water mark for me was just like what he was able to achieve
with a Marbled Swarm.
But also,
explain that to me.
Okay,
because of creating that weird,
the seductive language that was like like manipulative and all that, and like it was.
I don't know. So unpleasurable.
Tell me what this is. Like I don't know.
I'm not.
So Dennis Cooper has a very, other than this one book, a very minimalist style. Like in a very broad. You don't read anything.
No, I actually do read some stuff.
I like you just gave up.
Do you know like Joan Didion or anything like?
Okay, I don't read that much.
What are you trying to describe?
I'm just trying to say like his style is this very like minimalist style, but very intense, emotional. It's always about young boys usually being taken advantage of by like older gay men and raped and killed and blah blah blah. And then he wrote one book that was not like that at all, which is one of my favorites of his called God Jr. But it's still very
I forgot about that one.
That's brilliant.
Maybe I should reread that one because I haven't read. I've like read it way back when.
It's actually kind of sentimental. It's like about a father-son story, and it's not about rape and pedophilia. And then he wrote The Marbled Swarm, which I think is his most recent novel.
It is his most recent novel. It actually made it on like Harper. Like he was able. It was a big 5 book. So like it commended him for that.
It sold
Probably didn't sell well, but you know what? I mean, like it found its audience with like people like me at the time. Like I'm a different reader and writer now.
Interesting.
But I still think that was a high watermark for me because I was like just so goddamn like baffled and amazed by what he was able to do with it.
Interesting.
But that's also different, you know. Like this is like a good topic to discuss in general with anything that we consume, because the person you were when you watch or read,
sure,
or whatever, listen to something is different even like an hour or two later. Like for every listen, for every like time you like digest something, it changes for you. And I could not read Marbled Swarm. Now I don't want to. I don't want to taint what my opinion of it was.
That's fair.
But like I've reread The Sluts. I've reread Frisk. I have not reread God Jr. I should. But yeah, like it was like this. It was an experimental fiction novel that I think succeeded so well that it's one of those touchstones for like, this is how you can like really deconstruct a novel and really write something that's like its own entity. It's its own beast. It's its own thing that has a living, breathing, like kind of like dementia to it.
I was not in that headspace while I read it. I just did not enjoy it.
When did you read it? Like, was it
the year it came out?
Okay, yeah. So
which is not.
Well, is it 2012 or something, or 2011? I don't know, but yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been it's longer than I think. Okay, well that's whatever. I mean, we don't have to have the same.
Yeah, it's like the same way.
Different opinions fucking happen.
It's like the same way like someone like watches like a what's like Donnie Darko and they loved it, but then they can't go back.
Yeah, because it's as an adult, it's
not a good movie.
No, it's not.
But I liked it when I was 12 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And then you have life experience, and you were like, nope, that's not good.
Yeah.
I watched it when I was a teenager, and I enjoyed it. I've watched it a couple times. You know, like I don't know how many times. I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah.
A movie for me like that is Swingers. When I saw Swingers for the first time, that movie was like, oh, LA Life, fucking hilarious.
Is that the one with like Vince Vaughn in it?
John Favreau.
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
That scene where like they're in the diner and he just loses his shit or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then once I went through like some serious heartbreak in life and rewatched it and like so associated with Mikey and what he was going through with a bad breakup, the movie hit me on a completely different level.
Yeah. There's that personal connotation too, like the thing that happens.
And that happens with all fucking media.
Yeah, it happens with anything we consume, like books, music, movies, all that shit.
Except the show is super shallow. It will never hit you any deeper than it is right now.
I mean, he's drinking Dayquil, I'm drinking whiskey, you're drinking whiskey. Yeah, we're pretty shallow right now. Yeah.
You were discussing our love of Dennis Cooper novels. So.
But Dennis is legit. Dennis is like one of the best. Like he's super supportive, super talented. He has this movie that I think hasn't come out here in the U.S. yet. Permanent.
Have you seen it?
No, I want to desperately, but I don't think it's out here yet. But he has a movie
it's screened here, and I was at work. I saw the last one he did with Zach Farley, like Cattle Towards Glow.
I never did, unfortunately. I don't know why. I guess it was like I think I was able to like download it somewhere. Like
it's not.
It was hard to get. I remember it was hard to get.
One of the first dates I went on with my current girlfriend was to a weird porn theater that. They screened that at the end of like 24 hours of gay porn. It was a very strange date, but
were you there for the 24 hours of gay porn? That's a long date.
No, I mean we watched about like half of a gay porn, and then saw that. And I have to say though that whoever curated this gay porn event, it was actually kind of interesting. It was something from the 70s, I guess, maybe the 80s. Very stylized, not what I was expecting. But again, I don't really care about porn.
I like the glasses.
At this point in my life, other than like the sociological impact.
Yeah. But I was just like, look. Also, as you were talking, I'm like, I like the design of this glass.
It's Van Gogh.
It's very goth. That's Van Gogh.
Yeah. I guess it is. It.
Yeah, I got them at the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam.
That's why I like
a skeleton smoking is a Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the most metal thing Van Gogh's ever done.
I believe, whatever.
Like it's all, peasantry and farmhouses except for this shit.
I don't know that much about Van Gogh, honestly.
Believe me, I went to the museum. It was all peasantry and farmhouses and this.
And then you got that.
I'm with you on there. I don't really know too much about Van Gogh. He had like a lot of mental issues. And stuff
he cut off his own fucking ear.
Okay, there you go.
I guess that's kind of metal.
I think he shot himself at one point too. So, like in the chest.
Did he do the cry or was it the scream? Was that him?
No.
Who did the scream? Okay, just like I'm not I should be better about like my arts. Yeah.
Oh come on! I had 2 authors on, and I don't really read books.
What do you like? Porn? You
movies.
Like porn? Movies. Oh,
look at his.
Oh right. Okay.
And to be fair, I actually have read something fairly recently.
What?
Well, so Robert Dean sends me his stuff.
Robert Dean's a good guy. Yeah, I like Robert Dean a lot.
That's how we know each other.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He's an author friend of mine.
Okay. He's like a crime.
Yeah, a lot of crime fiction stuff.
He's based out of Austin.
He was originally from New Orleans. Yeah. Well, he's originally from Chicago, then New Orleans, then Austin. But he'll send me his stuff to poke holes in his plots. Because that is one thing I'm actually pretty competent at, is be like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's dumb.
Oh, man.
So you read his like latest?
Hard Roll was the last one he sent me.
Okay. Cool.
Which I poked a lot of holes in. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
And what was his... Is he receptive to your feedback?
Sometimes. Just shut up, Matt.
Well, he's sending it to you. He's got to be somewhat open to that.
No. He appreciates my feedback, but sometimes he's just fuck off, Matt. Shut up.
I mean, that's the way it is with this stuff. Like, I mean, I could say like, oh yeah, rejection's part of the game. It is part of the game, but like also you're always going to be affected by it no matter what it is. It might be like 10 seconds of like just feeling really down, and then you bounce back. Or it could be 10 days, 10 years. For some people don't write forever again, But
it's really rough when it's someone whose opinion you actually value.
Very much so.
Like, I don't take stock in like some random person on the internet who...
Yeah, Goodreads people, like, whatever. The Goodreads people can say whatever they want to say.
Right. I have no idea what your background is, who you are, or anything. I don't value your opinion.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. You could be like, you're a horrible human being. I might be, but I don't know what you're basing this on. I don't know what your background is. So I'm not going to take any stock in this. But someone I have an interpersonal relationship with, if they're like, that was fucking gross, like, no.
And then he laughs.
He laughs at me going, nah. Chris laughs at my depression. I see how it
What is this like responses to your podcast? Or what is the thing that you care about the most putting out in the world? Like,
this is what I put out regularly.
Yeah. Okay.
And though I do have an iTunes review that someone said that my voice is the worst thing ever.
About the podcast?
Mm-hmm. Like, why are you tuning in then?
That's a good question.
I forget who said it, but like it was again another tweet. But it was about these kinds of reviews, these user reviews that happen on different sites, iTunes, Goodreads. He like parodied the review. He's like, "Hi, I'm a Goodreads reviewer. I bought your book and I started reading it, and the reason I'm giving it 1 star is because it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, and the fact that it's not what I thought it was going to be put me like in a weird place. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to ever actually like experience anything new. I want it to be exactly what I expected. So that's why 1 star review." And there's a lot of those kinds of reviews where people are like, this is not what I expected. 1 star. And it's true. Like there are a lot of people that just are put in a certain space that they're not comfortable with.
And
it could literally be too. It doesn't take much.
Because it puts just as much effort to put 1 star as it does 5.
Yeah, I mean, like with horror and like stuff like that, there's even more of that. There's a reason why you go on IMDb and like most horror movies are like rated 6 out of 10, even if they're like really like good.
Well, most horror movies are really poorly written.
That too, but the good ones too. I've noticed the good ones still have like those.
What's a good one?
Hereditary was the best movie.
But I think that's still rated pretty well. Get Out, obviously.
Was that a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes?
Probably a shittily rated movie. Well, I don't know this way.
Yeah, you put me on the spot. I'm not thinking about movies right now. It might not be good anymore, but I used to Cube. Remember? Have you ever seen?
Oh yeah,
I like Cube.
That has like the worst fucking rating on IMDb, but it's a masterful exploration of how like you can fucking make something like that with like 10,000. I forgot how much money he had to like fund it, but it was not a lot. And it was like they had the one room they just kept on changing it was. And it had a lot of cool philosophical, like, commentary and stuff.
On IMDb, it's 7.3 out of 10.
That's
not bad.
That's pretty good.
And it's number 652 on the popularity scale.
Go Cube.
What is It's like I always tell myself I'm a huge horror fan, and then I don't typically like a lot of the horror movies that come out.
The problem with the horror genre is a lot of times they use cheap tactics to get emotional responses out of the audience,
And
not good writing.
It's like like jump scares and also like
Exactly.
the fucking tropes.
But
Always the tropes.
I don't even care that much about the writing. Like I want it to like more be like a stylized thing. Like Mandy last year was a great example.
Mandy
of
was
something.
good. I like Mandy a lot.
Did you guys see Baskin? It maybe came out 2 years ago.
I did not.
How do you spell that?
Baskin. It was from it's some Eastern European country.
I've not seen.
The director I think is Can Evrenol or something.
So you'd recommend it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check.
He had a new movie come out this year that I don't like. It's called Housewife. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
I don't know. But I mean, I think my point was just like before I got put on the spot about like horror movies.
Are people giving you shit reviews for this?
They've been good. I haven't checked in a long time,
okay.
But there've been good ones, and of course there can be bad ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my favorite like bad review is actually on Amazon, and like the title's like Rampant Silliness, and like the person's like, this is just like edgy for the sake of being edgy, and it's just like gore and sex and violence, and there's nothing to it. I'm like, thank you, cool. All right, moving on. You obviously bought the book and read it, so thank you for having that. It still got a reaction. I mean, like, I don't know. I get numb to it a little bit. Like, but yes, there's also still the rejections that hurt. Like as you were talking about.
I'm just like curious. When did you start writing books with the purpose to be published? 12 books at 33 is a lot of books.
Like 2012 maybe.
So you've put out multiple books in a year.
Yeah. I had like a 5-book contract with a now like on hiatus independent press called Lazy Fascist Press.
Okay.
They had an amazing catalog of authors. They have like Scott McClanahan on there, Sam Pink,
really?
and all that stuff. They put out his collected short fiction. That was the one that came out before
Of
Crapalatia.
Scott's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before Crapalatia. And Cameron Pierce, shout out to him. He's been such a good friend and great editor. Yeah, he gave me the opportunity to do like 5 books with him. And like 2 of those books, he gave me prompts to. So the first one, like The Laughter of Strangers, was the first one. It was like based on my boxing experiences. We like met it at AWP like way back in.
Wait, you boxed?
Yeah, let's like
I
put a bookmark there, and then let me just finish the. Okay, I try to mention that people are always like, but we're also running out of time.
Yeah.
All right, should I try to make this quick and then end it?
Yeah. I mean, you guys got an hour and a half till showtime. We can go a little longer.
Well, we want to
He's gonna get food. We gotta.
Aren't
feed
you
this
hungry
man.
too?
I am hungry.
I mean,
we need to get a little food. But
let's finish. We need content.
We don't want to. Yeah.
all right. Well, basically, Cameron Pierce gave me one of the best prompts for a novel ever. I have a novel that came out in 2014 called The Fun We've Had. I remember I was like in New York interning at Melville House, which I now work at. And I get this like email from him at like 11 p.m. I think, like towards the end of the night, like towards the point where like no one should be contacting me anymore. And then I get this call from him immediately after. He's like, "Check your email," and I checked my email, and it was literally the cover of the book, "Fun We've Had," and like this green cascading sea with like these 2 characters like floating in a coffin. And he's like, "That's your next book," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, I just saw this in like a dream of mine," and blah blah blah. And he tasked me with like, you got to figure out what this book is, but this is the next book, and I want it out in May, and that was like November. So like quick, he knew I write fast, so like he's like, let's do this. And the end result is a book that people still fucking like. People like, I'm getting like, I always get feedback from it. Like, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, and with boxing, I used to box like back when I was like 2019, somewhere around there to like 20. Not a little bit before my 21st birthday. Bantamweight. I was like a tiny guy. I mean, I'm a tiny guy anyway.
Yeah, you're a small dude.
Yeah, I boxed. And never like any 12 rounders. Like like the most like small like 5 to 6 rounders. My record is 5-1. But the one loss is a bad loss.
Like got knocked the fuck out.
Oh yeah, like didn't see that fucking thing coming. And questioning why I even do this kind of thing. Yeah. But, I mean, it's a longer story, but we also are running out of...
God damn it. Like, we're just...
Leave you wanting more.
Just tweet to Michael Seidlinger for the boxing story.
And a year from now, I'll be like, so the boxing story. It's becoming like an annual thing. You roll through LA, I drag you on the show.
And then I do something.
We're gonna go to Echo Park
All right, we're going to wrap this motherfucker.
Right.
And then
we're going to have a short one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to read
real quick.
stories.
Michael, where can we find you on social media?
I'm on all three, the big three. Facebook, I'm on Instagram. It's my name on Instagram. And on Twitter, it's MJ Seidlinger. Just spell out Seidlinger the way it appears on your screen.
It's MJ, so I probably fucked that up today. I always just copy it from Instagram and post it on other stuff. So
It's fun. Dude, cool video though. I love how you did that. That was good. Because plus we have this badass trailer video that Chris made with that slowed down Britney Spears thing.
Yeah, it's like a Salem cover of the Britney Spears song.
Very few people got it.
Oh.
That's fucking sick.
But I love that the people that do get it is just whoa.
I've just been learning After Effects this past year.
After Effects is a motherfucker.
Yeah, well, we did some cool. You should see the trailer for our fucking reading tonight. That's over.
We look like some goth as fuck motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
You are some goth as motherfuckers.
It doesn't look like a literary reading at all. It's like, what is this about to be like a show?
All right, Chris, where can we find you on social media?
Oh man, no one can spell my name. It's like
do what I just did. Look on the screen because they're gonna be on the. They're gonna see it on the screen.
They are.
Right.
Well, yeah,
on
on their app.
On their app, like the fucking
app they
iTunes,
listen
dude.
to this.
Oh, it's like
I'm guessing it's gonna be like the next
it's
episode.
at Chris Zeischegg, and I guess just look at it. It starts with a Z. It's German and hard to spell. And
I got a German last name too.
yeah,
I'm like Filipino and German.
oh fuck yeah.
Seidlinger's German.
That makes sense. It sounds German. Yeah.
I'm really uncomfortable surrounded by Germans at the moment.
We have a good trade now. Germany and Israel. It's doing well. Yeah, you buy all of our fucking motors. It's true.
They're very efficient.
Yeah.
But on that note, and they're efficient motors, you can find me at Matt_Slayer on Twitter, Matt Slayer on Instagram, Matt F. Slayer on Facebook. You can find the podcast at And Now We Drink on Twitter, and Now We Drink _ on Instagram. Until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.